Hi, and welcome back to Let's Try Tai Chi. Today we're going to be just sitting down talking about what are the various different things that we train in Tai Chi and how is our program put together. So, Tai Chi is this Chinese internal or soft martial art, and it's got a bunch of different components, basically types of movement or physical skills or mental skills, ways of coordinating the body and mind that we need to get to arrive at being good at this Tai Chi state, this Tai Chi way of moving. So in order to do that, we need to train each of these different components. Ultimately, the Tai Chi form itself basically is a way of training all of these things together. So especially a Tai Chi long form will, give you deep stretches, low stances, explosive jumping movements, positions and postures where you can warm up, positions and postures where you move very slowly, but it takes a long time to learn, and it's quite complicated to learn because on top of that you're also learning all the martial arts movements and the intention behind it, also breathing, how to stand, how to relax the body. It's a lot to handle all at once. So what we do is we break it down into lots of little bits. So we have separate sort of drills to focus on each of those components whilst we are learning our Tai Chi form and our Tai Chi way of moving, and all of those parts will eventually sort of filter into the Tai Chi form. So broadly we have initially without partner practice, so just solo practice, we have to start with for a beginner 5 main training modalities. So number 1, mobility and flexibility. And this we do with stretching and a dynamic warm-up. So very similar to any other sport, we have certain levels of mobility and range of motion requirements in our activity. For complete Tai Chi practice, this can be quite extreme, especially in the lower body. It's not so extreme in the upper body. Because we tend not to break the 6 harmonies, so we keep the upper body quite close. So we don't have extreme range of motion requirements for the shoulders, for example, but we do need healthy and functional shoulders. But in the lower body, we some of the low postures which are required to sort of stretch out and open the hips and the meridians in the lower legs do require quite a lot of flexibility. So we use static stretches to open up and stretch those areas, and then also before, as we begin practice, we use a bunch of dynamic stretches or mobilization type stretches just to loosen things off and prevent injury whilst we're training. And the number 2 is structure and focus. And I mean in that case sort of mental focus, the ability to have one pointed attention. And for this we use a practice called standing meditation, or post-standing, it's also called. So this teaches us how to relax in our normal structure. So rather than standing up very stiff and trying to do our Tai Chi and being unable to move, we need to learn how to stand and stand up straight and tall and full, but in a relaxed way. And the perfect tool for doing that is standing meditation. And also it is a meditative practice, so it teaches you to focus on one thing. It's not quite as involved as sitting meditation. We don't work directly with the mind. We kind of do it sort of through trying to relax and center the body. So that's number 2. We do standing practice. And then the third point is coordination and movement quality. So the key thing here for the beginner is learning to move from the center. Right? So rather than moving, like this is not a Tai Chi way of moving. When one part moves, everything moves. Excuse me. Excuse me. A little bit of hay fever. So so we have coordination and movement quality. And this we use basic movement drills. They're often called, in Chen style Tai Chi, they're called silk reeling drills, but they're across a wide range of Tai Chi styles. They're just basic movement patterns which teach you, without all the complexities of the martial movement and learning, I'm going to do this posture and then this one, and my finger needs to be here, and my legs moving at the same time. No, they keep it as simple as possible, and you turn the waist, and the body follows in some simple pattern. So so these drills we use them as part of our warm-up as well, and they teach coordination and movement quality. Then the next one is some of our slightly more internal skills, so like the breath. So the breath connects the body, the physical world, to your internal space, your energetic world. So that's why breath is actually, the word qi means either breath or energy in Chinese. So very similar to the way that pranayama in yoga connects the physical space to the internal space. So if you were trying to learn your Tai Chi form, and then also I was giving you lots of instructions about how to breathe, we found that it's very, very complicated and it's very difficult, and a lot of people get too tense and they can't focus on things. So instead, we picked some very simple exercises to work on those internal, soft, breathing, energetic feelings. And these are sort of basic Qigong exercises. Yeah, so this is called Qigong, which means breath work. So we pick a small number of these exercises and just and work deliberately in that area. So that's building up our breath and internal development and feeling. And then all this comes together. So you're going to have mobility and flexibility, structure and focus, coordination and movement quality, breath and internal feeling. And on top of that, we add in martial movements, right? So all of this is performed, in the basic simplified version slowly, with correct martial intent and correct movement. So rather than just being I'm going to wave my hand in the air, I'm actually going to perform a movement that could be, a strike or a throw, a joint lock or something like that, with this Tai Chi way of moving. And that is our Tai Chi form. So as we said, we begin to learn these movements, but there's a lot of complexity just to learn these movement patterns. So it's going to take time and effort to learn the sequence, right? And to practice that. So whilst we are developing our, actually just learning the movement pattern and using a lot of cognitive effort just to learn the sequence, we continue to develop our Tai Chi skill using each of these separate drills. So at the beginning, solo practice leads to five things to do: mobility and flexibility, structure and focus, coordination and movement quality, breath and intention, and all together plus martial application. And that is what we do when we practice Tai Chi. So let's go try some Tai Chi. See you next time, guys.